Welcome to the COVID-19 and the importance of getting the COVID-19 vaccination e-learning course. This e-learning training module is intended to provide information on the COVID-19 vaccine and the importance of getting vaccinated. It will help answer some common questions, concerns, and provide the most accurate information from reliable, evidence-based Canadian sources. This training module has been reviewed by our infectious disease specialist, and the information provided has come from Health Canada, Public Health Ontario, and Toronto Public Health. Here is a quick review of the facts on COVID-19. COVID-19 is a respiratory illness caused by a new coronavirus that was discovered in December 2019 and has spread rapidly throughout the world, thus resulting in a worldwide pandemic. COVID-19 is spread by respiratory droplets, most often from person to person. A person can spread it to others even before that person begins to show any symptoms. COVID-19 can spread when people gather too closely together talking, laughing, singing, sneezing, or coughing. It spreads when people share hugs and kisses. It also spreads when people linger to talk for more than 10 to 15 minutes, forgetting to physically distance from one another. It also spreads when you touch your nose, mouth, or eyes after touching a surface contaminated with the virus. As you are well aware of, there are many symptoms of COVID-19 that can take up to 14 days to appear. They include fever, cough, difficulty breathing, sore throat, trouble swallowing, runny nose, loss of taste or smell, nasal congestion, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and chills. In older adults and people with developmental disabilities, additional symptoms may appear such as headaches and muscle aches, sleeping more than usual, feeling disoriented, confusion, dizziness, weakness, and falls. There are many complications from COVID-19. Older adults, people with underlying health conditions such as heart disease, high blood pressure, and diabetes, and people with developmental disabilities are at greater risk for developing serious illness that require hospitalization. Taking precautions to avoid getting COVID-19 is the best way to protect yourself, your family, and the people that we support. We all need to do our part in protecting ourselves and others. So wear your mask, maintain 2 meters or 6 feet from one another, and wash your hands for 20 seconds with soap and water or use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. We are currently in the second wave of COVID-19, and wave 2 is much worse than wave 1. Historically, most second waves are worse. The statistics across the province are very concerning. According to a recent survey, many Ontarians are not abiding by the rules for social gatherings. The numbers are increasing everywhere. The virus is widespread in the community. New variants of the virus are in Ontario. The second provincial emergency was declared on January 14th. But there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is the COVID-19 vaccine. In order to gain approval of vaccines for COVID-19, the Government of Canada has prepared for months to ensure Canadians will have access to safe and effective vaccines against COVID-19. All scientific data has been reviewed, and standards of safety, efficacy, and quality have not been compromised to expedite the approval of COVID-19 vaccines. Health Canada will continue to monitor the vaccine's safety and effectiveness now and in the future. You may be asking yourself, how can a vaccine be developed so quickly when it usually takes years to develop? Well, according to the Ministry of Health, the development of the vaccine for COVID-19 have progressed quickly for many reasons. These reasons include the reduced time delays in the vaccine approval process, quick adaptation of existing research programs such as those focusing on mRNA and viral vector-based technology, international collaboration among scientists, health professionals, researchers, and governments, increased dedicated funding, and quick recruitment of participants and rapid setup of clinical trials to demonstrate effectiveness of the vaccine.
Vaccines are the most effective way to prevent the spread of infectious disease, but developing one can be costly, long, and complex. However, with significant investment and collaboration at a global scale, developing a vaccine is possible in a much shorter period of time. So how are vaccines developed today? And will the development of a COVID-19 vaccine be different? All vaccines go through 3 basic stages of development: the exploratory stage, the preclinical stage, and the clinical stage. In the exploratory stage, scientists do basic laboratory research to find vaccines that can help us develop immunity to a disease before being exposed to it. On January 11, 2020, the genetic code of the virus causing COVID-19 was published. This allowed scientists all over the world to start working on finding potential vaccines. With more than 150 in development worldwide, scientists are using current approaches like using whole or parts of killed or weakened virus, and newer techniques such as delivering COVID genetic material directly into cells. In the preclinical stage, scientists use laboratory and animal studies to identify safety concerns before testing the vaccine in humans. It is also used to help find the safest dose. While many vaccine candidates don't progress beyond this point, successful ones move on to the clinical stage, where they are first tested in humans. This stage normally consists of 3 phases. Phase 1 trials involve a small number of healthy volunteers to test safety and confirm that the vaccine causes an immune response. An immune response refers to how our body recognizes and defends itself from viruses and other potentially harmful substances. Promising vaccines then progress to Phase 2, where they're given to hundreds of participants, including groups at risk of the disease. The goal of Phase 2 is to test the vaccine's safety, the proposed doses and method of delivery, and again, to assess the immune response. Phase 3 studies involve thousands of volunteer participants and compare groups that received the vaccine to those that didn't. These studies are used to further answer whether the vaccine works and still demonstrate that it's safe for use. One way scientists have worked to reduce the time to develop a COVID vaccine has been to use study designs that allow merging of clinical phases. For example, new approaches have allowed for Phase 2 participants to be included in larger Phase 3 studies, allowing scientists to shorten the overall timeline and number of participants needed, without cutting corners or compromising safety. The first COVID-19 vaccine trials in humans started in March of 2020. Since then, tens of thousands of volunteers have been enrolled in clinical studies worldwide. Health Canada, responsible for regulating the use of vaccines in Canada, has authorized clinical trials for COVID-19 vaccines. Before approving a new vaccine, they look closely at all the data on it, paying very close attention to its safety. Many vaccines will fail somewhere along this path if they don't work or are unsafe. It's normal, and this is the purpose of all the stages of development and clinical trials. Only those that are proven safe, effective, and of high quality will be approved for use in Canada. A safe and effective vaccine will bring us one step closer to the widespread and long-term management of COVID-19. Visit canada.ca/coronavirus to learn more.
Two vaccines have been approved so far in Canada: the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna vaccine. The Pfizer vaccine is a vaccine that is used to prevent COVID-19 from causing serious illness to a person. The vaccine is approved for people that are 16 years of age and older. Its safety and effectiveness in people younger than 16 has not yet been established. The vaccine is given by injection into the muscle in the arm. You need 2 doses for the vaccine to work properly. The first dose and then a second dose 21 days later. Based on studies done, the Pfizer vaccine was 95% effective in preventing COVID-19 beginning 1 week after the second dose. That means that people may not be fully protected against COVID-19 until 7 days after the second dose. The vaccine needs to be kept at an ultra-frosty temperature of -70 degrees Celsius. This temperature prevents the vaccine ingredients, the mRNA, from breaking down. The Moderna vaccine is a vaccine used to prevent COVID-19 from causing serious illness to a person. This vaccine is approved for people 18 years of age or older. Its safety and effectiveness in people younger than 18 years of age have not yet been established. The vaccine is given by injection into the muscle of the arm. You need 2 doses for the vaccine to work properly. You need the first dose and then a second dose 28 days later. Based on studies done, the Moderna vaccine was 94.1% effective in preventing COVID-19 beginning 2 weeks after the second dose. This means that people may not be fully protected against COVID-19 until at least 14 days after the second dose. Moderna vaccines still need cold storage, but it is at a much higher temperature than the Pfizer vaccine. The Moderna vaccine is stored at temperatures of -20 degrees Celsius. Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are considered messenger RNA vaccines, or mRNA vaccines. What exactly does that mean? Many traditional vaccines use a weakened or inactivated virus or part of a virus to trigger an immune response inside our bodies. Instead of using a live or inactivated COVID-19 virus, mRNA vaccines deliver instructions to our cells to produce a protein or a piece of a protein, which is recognized by our bodies as foreign and thus will trigger an immune response. Under a microscope, the COVID-19 virus looks like the picture. It has what are called spike proteins that surround the virus. When a person gets infected with COVID-19, the virus comes into the body, and those spike proteins is how the virus binds to the receptor cells in our nose or eyes. It allows the virus to engulf our cells. The virus then takes over the host cells and causes infection. So you might be asking yourself, how do these vaccines work? Well, the mRNA vaccine sends a message to our cells to produce a harmless piece of spike protein that looks like the spike protein on the coronavirus. That protein, produced by our cells, is then distributed out by these cells. Our body recognizes it as foreign and does not like it, and therefore produces antibodies to that spike protein. Therefore, if a person actually gets infected with COVID-19, the body would recognize that spike protein and could quickly mount a response. It would then produce the antibodies before the virus gets into our cells and takes over our body. A question you may commonly hear is, will the mRNA vaccine alter my own DNA inside my cells? The answer is simply no. mRNA vaccines do not alter, affect, or interact with DNA in our cells. Human cells break down and get rid of the mRNA as soon as they finish using its instructions. mRNA does not enter the central part, the nucleus of the human cells where our DNA is located, eliminating any risk of mRNA interacting with our DNA. So now you've gotten vaccinated. What do you do after receiving the initial shot? Right after receiving the vaccine, you will be advised to wait for about 15 to 20 minutes, like with other vaccines, to ensure that you are feeling well. Although rare, symptoms of an allergic reaction can occur, which include hives, swelling of your face, tongue, or throat, and difficulty breathing. Clinic staff are prepared to manage these events should they occur. If you have a history of severe allergies, including those that require you to carry an EpiPen, discuss the COVID-19 vaccine with your healthcare professional beforehand. They will be able to give you advice on the COVID-19 vaccine. Similar to medications and other vaccines, the COVID-19 vaccine can occasionally cause side effects in some people at any time from immediately to a few days after receiving their vaccine. Most side effects are minor and will not last long. Serious side effects after receiving the vaccine are rare. Example of some common side effects from both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are pain, redness, or swelling where the needle was given. This is the most common side effect. Tiredness, headache, muscle and joint pain, chills, and fever. It is important to know that even after taking the COVID-19 vaccine, you still must follow all of the infection prevention and control measures, which include wearing a mask and face shield when at work, maintaining 6 feet or 2 meters from each other, washing your hands frequently or using alcohol-based hand sanitizer, and cleaning and disinfecting regularly. If I am not feeling well, can I still get my COVID-19 vaccine? The answer is no. If you are not feeling well, you should be self-isolating and not getting the vaccine at this time. You should get a COVID-19 test to make sure that you don't have the virus. Get your vaccine when you are completely better and when your doctor says it's fine to get the shot. Even if you have had COVID-19, you should still get the vaccine. Why do I still have to wear a mask, maintain physical distancing of 6 feet, and continue with all IPAC measures after getting my COVID-19 vaccine? Well, it is important to continue to follow all safety protocols because there remains the possibility that you can still transmit the COVID-19 virus to someone else even after being vaccinated. The vaccine will help protect you from getting sick, but you could still transmit it to someone else. And not everyone will be vaccinated at the same time, so there will be many people that will still need to be protected, so masks and physical distancing still need to be implemented. With the rollout of the vaccine, more people will be vaccinated, generating good epidemiological information on community-wide vaccine-generated immunity. This will inform us whether we can start to return to normal. This will take some time. For now, we need to be safe and continue all PPE and IPAC practices. Remember, the more people who get the COVID-19 vaccine, the better it will be for our province, our country, and our world. The following is what you should be doing right now to prepare yourself for the COVID-19 vaccine. First, talk to your doctor or healthcare professional about your own concerns, including any allergies, medical conditions, etc. Ensure you get information from reliable and reputable, evidence-based sources. Many sources on social media are not reliable and may give you inaccurate information about the COVID-19 vaccine. Talk to your supported individuals and their families about the vaccine and ensure that they get the most reliable information possible in order to give consent for the vaccine if required. Now it's time to make an informed decision. This e-learning module was intended to present information on the COVID-19 vaccine and the importance of getting vaccinated to help protect you from getting COVID-19. The more people who get vaccinated, the better protected everyone will be from getting this serious and potentially deadly virus. Thank you for taking the time to participate in this e-learning module.